You guys, welcome to the Players Corner. We have another episode today, another DMV guy. We had LeVar last week. This week we have Jamree Kromah from the Chicago Bears, defensive end for the Chicago Bears. And I can't wait to have him on. We have a lot to talk about. Local guy, he has a camp coming up. We're going to talk about mental health today. We're going to talk about his style, his fashion, and I guess we'll get into a little bit of the NFL. So without further ado, I want to bring him on. Hey man, what's up? What's up?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. Look, did I say it right? Jamree Kromah.
Yeah,
No.
you said it
Okay.
right.
All right, I did try to rehearse it as best I could, but I like I said, I know people butcher my name all the time, so I always want to make sure I get it right. So
Got
how
you.
you been feeling?
I've been feeling good. I mean, like getting ready for year two, this off season,
Mhm.
OTAs, and then mini camp coming up. So far, like we doing workouts, had meetings, doing things on the field. Feel really good going to year two.
Yeah, and like I told the people, you were a DMV guy. How's the off season been treating you in the DMV? Do
It's
you
treating
train
me
out here?
well. Feel like doing no. So I'll train down south.
Okay, okay. A
So
lot of
I'll
people
go
do.
home sometimes, but I do my training down south and stuff. But the all season, it's been good, been treating me well, and I've been doing my part, take care of business. The main thing is the main thing, which is like me training, making sure I'm ready for the season. But also like outside of that, just taking advantage of my platform, doing off the field stuff.
Yes, yes. I want to get into it being Mental Health Awareness Month and just really understand what mental health means to you for taking care of your mental health. How is important to you?
I mean, mental health is everything. I feel like if you don't take care of your mental, everything else won't follow. The body won't follow. The spirit won't follow. I feel like growing up, people would tell us like, you can't be opening up, you can't be vulnerable. Like be tough, like keep everything to yourself. But at the same time, it's like as time goes on, you have that ingrained in your mind
Mhm.
it builds up on you and it bottles everything up where it's like you don't know how to release it and it kind of like mess you up later in the long run. But like mental health, you gotta ask for help. No one thing is ask for help. It
Mhm.
doesn't hurt to ask for help. It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, and I feel like making that kind of tough decision shows that you're brave when you're seeking help to better yourself to make sure like you're not at your worst later on. But I just say like when it comes to everyday life and where that society is and more things are happening in today's world time, mental health is very important because without your mental you can't go really far.
I agree with you. One of the questions I really wanted to ask is dealing with like those triggers. Like when are those moments where you feel like, your mental could be sliding one way or the other? Like what are some of those triggers that you notice?
It could be like overwhelmed,
Mhm.
when things just start to build up and pile up on you. It could be stress or moments where you may not understand things and, some sort of like frustration or like you trying so
Mhm.
hard to get things together, but you don't know the way. It could be signs like that where, okay, you have to like get this handle or else it's going to affect you in the long run. But I feel like it's more on the side of, you know, being overwhelmed, stress, anxiety, where you just don't know like what it is.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when I notice that I'm sleeping more, or like like sleeping longer, or I can't wait to just go to sleep. I feel like that's when I know my mental health isn't 100%. I think it's impossible to have 100% mental health all the time, but
Yeah,
I know sometimes I get triggered. Do you have any like moments where you're like, you know what, I'm not feeling like myself?
I would say like being overwhelmed or like anxiety.
Yeah, when you catch,
Yeah,
yeah. It
yeah.
happens, it happens. What are some of the resources that you use? What do you do, to kinda cope with it and kinda get back on the right path mentally?
Personally, within myself, a lot of meditation. But
Mm,
outside of me, I'll go to like mental health specialists or therapists. The way that we come up with different strategies where it could just help me be better and it could lead to me having a better performance on the field, but not just for football, but also like within my life. and just building those kind of like tips and strategies to make sure like I continue to use that and then carry that over. So like for example, it could be times where we don't know where we're like surviving. We could be in surviving mode, or we could be in coping mode, or we could be in thriving. So like not all the time you're gonna be in a thriving mode. A lot of times you could be in coping mode. But
Hmm.
if you're in survival mode most of the time, like so many times, then that's not a good thing if you stay in there for a very long time because something has to change.
Yeah. So do you find resources to like specialists easy? Have you been able to, whether it's using an app or go somewhere local, have number, have you felt those resources have been easy for you to find?
Yes, it's been very helpful, especially like at the time when I first got into the NFL. You know, a lot of things are new. Me being a rookie, and then like also, I wasn't drafted. I was an undrafted player, so now it's like a lot of odds are against you. You try to, if anything, do things perfect, but things are not going to be perfect. But you try to make it close to that, and you get in a situation where you try to compare yourself to other people because
Hmm.
you looking at it like, okay, this person is going to be on the roster. I'm trying to do everything the best I can to do this and do that so I could give myself a shot to be on the roster or just even just stick around, whatever the case may be. And there's no one thing about it is that you don't want to be the type of guy to get cut, get sent home, and that NFL dream is gone and that's not coming back. So you're trying to do whatever it takes for you to keep the dream and keep the hope alive so that you can stick around. So that was like heavy on me. My rookie year is like when he was going through OTAs and training camp. But then as I met with somebody to help me out with my mental health, how to go about those things, we found ways to release that by not putting too much of myself and just be myself and just control things I could control.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you had those resources readily available. I think it's so many times people don't know where to go and don't know how, so they don't know how to release and deal with what they're dealing with. So I'm so thankful that you were able to have those resources readily available. And any advice that you would give to young athletes that may be going through exactly what you have went through or could possibly come up against those circumstances?
I'll just say that know where you at, especially like when you go into the NFL, it doesn't matter about how you get there, it's about what you do when you get there. But know where you at, like have trust, have faith in yourself, keep God first. But also like know that you belong. And don't
Mhm.
worry about the outside, don't let the outside stuff get to you, control you control. But at the same time, make sure like you do what you have to do when you're supposed to do it, and just don't put too much of yourself to the point where you overwhelm yourself or you build some sort of anxiety and you're stressed that it can sometimes lead to depression where you may not perform the way you need to perform. So I just say like just don't put too much in yourself. Like have fun, but control the things you can control, and everything's gonna take care of itself.
I love it. One last question about mental health. You mentioned meditation. Is there a method? Are you like a music guy, or are you a music and like candle guy? Are you a guy that just likes complete silence, complete darkness? What's your meditation vibe?
I mean, music, like, music is therapy. I kind of realize at times when I be at home, I play music, like when I'm doing laundry or I'm cleaning the house or folding clothes or organizing my house. I realize that. But when it comes to meditation, I got this thing called full corner breathing. So it's
Okay.
like, when it comes to that, you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, you release it for 4 seconds, and then Eh, yeah, after you release it for 4 seconds, then you get yourself together for those last 4 seconds, and then you reset.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the way it releases a lot of things. Like if you have so much going on, like in your brain, the chemicals releases so that you could be in a stable situation where everything is on a balance.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up. That's pretty. Thank you for that information. I'm sure someone's gonna look it up as well as I'm and practice that and see how I feel afterwards. So thank you for sharing that.
Hmm.
Now, I want to talk about you in the community a little bit. I mentioned you are a DMV guy, Prince
Yeah,
George's County, Glenarden, right?
yeah, Glenarm in Maryland.
Glenarden. Um, I'm gonna put my little PG accent on. You went to Flowers, right? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I with the flowers.
Is that how they say it?
Yeah, that's how
I
they
was like,
say
they
it. That's
don't
how they
say
say
it's
it.
not flowers. They didn't even go to flowers. They went you went to flowers. Like flowers for the
Yeah,
like a hay or
flowers.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm. But
And you have a
like,
camp coming up.
yeah, no, yeah, I do have a kid. Or like, for example, like let's say Duval House High School. People would think it's
Yeah.
Duval, but it's Duval.
Duval. And
Yeah,
the crazy thing is like Duval and then in the PG and Baltimore accents are so different. But like
yeah,
because I'm like in the middle, I hear them all the time. And sometimes I use my PG and Baltimore accent at the same time.
yeah,
But you have a camp coming up. It's going to be at Flowers.
yeah,
And I want you to speak a little bit about it. Is this your first camp?
yeah. This is my first annual camp, so very excited for that and looking forward to it.
Uh-huh. All right. So when's it gonna be? I like June 21st.
Yeah,
Okay, and registration's open now.
yeah. Registration's open now. It's free camp, so when it's free, definitely gotta take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm having two camps in one day. So one
Okay.
for like the younger kids from ages 7 to like 14, and
Hmm.
then I'm having like a high school combine for like guys in the area looking to like get exposure. They're gonna have scouts over there and help them build that recruiting profile, which is free compared to other camps where you have to pay uh, a good amount of dollars just to get in and participate.
Nice, nice. I love the scouting piece. That's definitely an attraction, like you
Hmm.
said, for kids that in the area that definitely want to be seen, put their work out there on the field. Make
Yeah,
sure you register. We'll have a link to his social media so that you can register for the camp because it's coming up. It's about a month away, so
yeah.
make sure you lock in. Is are there? Did you attend a lot of these camps when you were young?
Yeah, I attended some camps for sure. I mean, high school, I attended like satellite camps and then college camps. And I like this camp back in the day called SEN, Sports Entertainment Network. That helped me out a lot. And, sent it out to different colleges. They seen how I was moving, and that helped me out getting scholarship offers. And
Mhm.
then even carrying over to when my senior season, I went off and see what I did on the field. It worked out for the best.
Now, if you could envision this camp just expanding and what's the evolution of it? Like, what's your dream goal for this particular camp as you're in your first year, but you're gonna be obviously doing this again?
Make it very memorable.
Mhm,
Like one thing that I look at is when I get done with the camp, I want to make sure that an impact is left. It's going to be something that they'll forever remember, and the kids can like take something from it and learn from it too, so that whatever lesson that they get from the camp, they can take that with them forever, and then carry themselves accordingly how they want to go about it with their daily lives.
mhm. That's
So
great, and then
Nah, so it's more like me. It's not just competing the physical part, but also like giving good wisdom, good knowledge to the kids, things that they seeking and looking for that they may not get. I feel like me and my guys and guys on my team, we could give that to them so that have them look at things different from a whole another perspective.
I love it. I love it. And I feel like as guys, you think of I think of immediately Cam Newton, right? His 7-on-7 competitions and his camps that he's had. And he's able to see guys come to his camps and they're in the league and being superstars in the league now. So I love camps. I love the intent behind them. And I also love that kids are able to look back and say, I went to that camp. I started there and now I'm here. So and you see the benefit.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. So June 21st, flowers. Make sure you guys register. If I'm in town, I'm gonna bring my camera and we're gonna take some footage of the kids at camp. I'm gonna stop by flowers and see what's going on.
Mhm. For sure, for sure.
Now you're a big fashion guy.
Yeah, I'm a
You're
big
into
fashion guy.
fashion, into looks.
Yeah.
I put on
Mhm.
earrings today. I was like, you're not gonna catch me slipping. I put on a couple
Oh shoot.
earrings just so I wouldn't look, too dull. Now, would you
Then
say
I got match your
fashion?
fly.
Yeah, I was like, "Look, you ain't about to catch me and talk about crazy about me like she came on looking crazy." No, would you say
Hmm.
fashion is therapy?
Absolutely, because it's another form of expression.
Yeah.
Like I got into fashion more like in college when I was
Uh-huh.
doing modeling. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay. Model.
yeah, yeah, I model sometimes though. So it was like my last semester at Rutgers of my undergrad. Um, in that last semester, I was already in the process of transferring. I was in the transfer portal and stuff. And that's when I went on to JMU. So I had
Mhm.
like extra time on my hands, and a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine, they encouraged me to model. There was like, I think you could really do something with this. Like you got the look, you got everything. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then as I gave it a try, the modeling coaches was like, you're a natural doing it, like just fix different things, you just be all right. And as I walked across the runway, it was all she wrote. And I feel like, I did it at JMU too. And when I got into the league, I got like a stylist, and then with the clothes that I put on, and I could put stuff together too. But I feel like a stylist, he solely focused on that because that's his job. And me being in the NFL, it's like so much you have to do. So like
Yeah.
the time management is something different. So as I took like pictures, like during the season and how I'm coming to the stadium, a lot of people like it. It was like, yo, Jim, like you really doing it. Like you like a fashion model into the fashion. I'm like, yeah. And then like the vets in the building and the coaches in the building, they all asking me like, yo, what's the next fit for the next game for
Next
Sunday? I'm
week.
like,
Yeah.
damn. So I look at like a lot of times during the week, I'm always wearing like regular clothes, athletic gear. And I just tell guys like, hey, you only get one day out of the week to express yourself, so why not take advantage of
Gotta
it?
put it
Like,
on.
yeah,
Gotta
it's
put
like
on.
when I walk to the locker room and see like the vets who like years in, they like seeing it. It's like, yeah, Jim, like, yo, I like this fit right here. It makes me feel good, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta keep it going, can't stop.
Yes, yeah, I love it. I love it. It's but those and the photos make you feel good too. When they catch you with the walk in, you got the shades, you got the fit on.
Yeah,
Yeah, look
definitely.
good, feel good. You got to come in on game day feeling good.
Absolutely, for sure.
So, how would you describe your style?
My style, it's a mix of different things. I mean, I haven't got to the point where I wear a suit, but I would say like putting the cuts together to make sure like it matches. I could go casual. I go like with jeans or wear like a sweater. It all depends on like what the vibe is given though, and
Okay.
what the stylists really see, and then what I see too. And if I know like something doesn't really add up, it doesn't match, then I'll just turn it down. But me, like I said, like real like jeans, different kind of shirts. Uh, it could be like two piece on a shirt. But what I'm really big on is the accessories, like
Mhm.
the hat, the chains, the watch, because that just makes the fit even pop.
It
Makes the fit
completes
pop
it.
even more. Yeah,
Yeah, completes the look. I
yeah,
totally get it. And you mentioned stylists, and I think stylists are important. It is hard to come up with looks week in and week out on your own. You can
yeah,
have a vision, but like actually having to pick out the pieces and find the pieces and making sure the pieces arrive, it's a whole different level of time that, like you said, time management is key
yeah,
in your field. Like you don't have time to do. So I always recommend a stylist and get you more than one if you can. I'm not saying that you have to like go to them all the time, but different stylists have different visions for you.
yeah.
So
Definitely though, for sure.
yeah. So I recommend. Look, I need a stylist of my own. Please help me. Are there some brands that you particularly love wearing?
I mean, shoot. Always been like a Fashion Nova guy. Now I
Mhm.
got into like minimal. Uh, what else? It's I can't think other ones off my head, but like Fashion Nova, minimal. Then Hellstar.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that too. Hellstar got different kind of like styles. Uh, what's another one? This one more. I can't think off my head right now, but it's just those different kind of brands like that.
I always talk to Deion Dawkins from the Bills
Yeah,
about his style because he refers to himself as he calls it snowy, right?
yeah.
And I also asked him, I think it was Balenciaga. He said like just catered to like the bigger guys. Do you have a dream collab with a brand, whether it's high end or Fashion Nova or whatever? Is there a dream collab out there for you?
Can I say like a magazine?
Yeah,
GQ.
GQ. So
Yeah, GQ.
So if GQ could collab with you to give like a spread, we're talking about a whole magazine spread at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, you're modeling, so that means you'll be working with multiple designers, and we'll have you on the face of
yeah,
GQ.
yeah. GQ for sure.
We're gonna get you in there, and it's gonna be you on one spread, and then Tyrod Taylor on the other.
Yeah, nah, definitely GQ though. I feel like if I do GQ, I'm like, yeah, I really done it big. But also,
Yeah.
I be joking around, like, yeah, man, like it's GQ.
Look, you threw I didn't even know about the modeling thing. So now that we're gonna we're gonna work on some things. Hold on, how your people
Yeah.
contact my people, and we gonna make this happen. Yeah,
Hmm.
we gonna have some plan A, B's, and C's going on.
Yeah. So I just feel like the modeling it would definitely help because like my platform is everything, and it's like as I go on, I grow in my career. Like my platform is going to even grow and become be much more bigger. So as long as I do my part, which I know I am, and I'm going to, everything else is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, and have you ever what's a guy Marcus Allen? You know Marcus Allen? Yeah, DMV guy.
Uh, I know of him, but I don't know him personally.
Yeah, he's older, so yeah, so
Yeah.
he's a DMV guy. Played in the league, got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he's a model now. He
Yeah.
models now. So look, you never know. You never know. It's
Nah,
great.
you
Like you
never
said, use
know.
your
You never know.
platform, keep your options open. Paris Fashion Week is on the horizon.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of NFL players at the Met Gala. So look,
Yeah. Nah,
anything is possible.
yeah. Speaking about the Met Gala, like my teammate Jo Jonathan Owens.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
Simone Biles, they was all at the gala. That was pretty good, and like showing like they style, like in a platform like that, in like a setting, couldn't be any better. So I was happy for those two.
And they were at the Kentucky Derby as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that same
that's
time
another
span.
fashion. People don't
Yeah,
put
yeah,
people
yeah.
sleep on that.
Nah,
That's a good
definitely
look
though for
too.
sure. So like
Yeah, we
they was
gotta
doing the thing.
we gotta get you out there too, so you can wear some of these designers.
Yeah,
I guess we can
one
talk
day.
a little bit about football now.
Yeah.
So, what has been one of your greatest moments so far in the NFL?
Uh, shoot. Team wise, um, I say when we beat Green Bay
Hmm. Okay.
last game of the season, that was like a good time because that momentum winning the last game of the season, going to next season we don't know what's going to happen. It was
Hmm.
great because like we went through a lot of adversity, a lot of like hardship, like losing and stuff, and that was tough. And then like to win the last game, beating Green Bay. One thing about it, like in the city of Chicago, if you beat Green Bay, they don't care about anything else that's happened outside of that. But they will care, but it's like beating Green Bay could like, you know, kind of brush things off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious. Did you grow up a Commanders fan?
No. So I'm from Glen Arden, and the stadium is like 10 minutes or less from me. But
Yeah.
I grew up a Baltimore fan, Ravens fan
Oh,
and stuff because of Ray Lewis, Ed Reed,
mm,
those guys.
yeah. I heard. I guess people know why I'm making that face, but no, I live so close.
Yeah,
I totally understand it. They are spectacular athletes, and I actually love Lamar Jackson. So,
yeah,
when I'm allowed to, when the spirit moves me, I root for him. I
yeah.
root for him to get paid. But being so close to the Pittsburgh Steelers, sometimes it's hard. It's hard for me to go beyond it, but I
I
get
understand. But
it.
Washington though, like I didn't grow up like in Washington, but my favorite player from there, always and forever will be from Washington, is the late great Sean Taylor.
Yes, yes. I feel like we did not value him in his film until he left us. Like if you
Yeah,
see some of the things he did on tape now,
you'd be like,
it's
wow.
like, man, like he just definitely could have been one of the greats. Like not that he wasn't great, but like just because his career in life was cut so short, we
Yeah.
didn't even see his potential.
Mm,
But yeah, that tape, that Sean Taylor tape is something special. So I totally agree with you there. So Chicago. I actually haven't experienced Chicago, just like the airport. And I hear so many great things about it. People, especially summertime shot. Everybody talks about Chicago in the summer. Please
yeah.
tell me, give me some insight on why Chicago has this great reputation in being a place people like to visit.
Well, number one thing is the view. Great
Hmm.
skyline. Tall buildings, taller buildings than the ones in D.C. or in New York or even like Boston because I was in New England for a little bit. But
Hmm.
definitely got a great skyline, great food. Great spots if you want to go like party, rooftops, all those kind of things. Or if you're into like boats and stuff and you want to ride on a boat for some time, you and your friends, a group of friends and stuff, just riding around summertime.
Hmm.
Can't get no better.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. I have to put it on my list. I haven't done it. All I get is
Yeah.
O'Hare, and that's about the gist of my Chicago experience. So this year coming up, being with Chicago, what are some of the things on your list? What are some of those goals going into this new season?
One thing for sure is like definitely want to contribute. I want to do anything to help the team win. Being on the 53-man roster.
Mhm.
That's one of the things I want to do. But I really want to help the team contribute to win.
Yeah. Look, that is a goal, a great goal all in itself. It is also challenging just mentally and physically being an athlete. And I know we stress mental health early, but are there things that you do in the locker room that help you mentally?
Wait, say that again.
I said we talked about mental health, and I just wanted to know, are there things that you bring to the locker room that help you mentally before
Uh,
maybe before a game or after a game?
I mean, the things that I'll bring to the locker room. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, like what are some of the tools that you use like during season to kind of help you mentally, whether it's just sitting in there in the locker room listening to music, whether it's like going off I've seen players go off into a corner and be by themselves. Like what are some of those like mental kind of games that you play to
Uh,
get yourself ready?
the number one thing is music, but I said like before I even enter the stadium, make sure like I'm very prepared, well prepared. And preparations is start like the day before the game. It's actually throughout the whole week.
Hmm.
Keep on preparing until it's time to play. Then while you're playing, then adjustments happen. But like after I get done with my game plan preparation personally within myself, I just listen to music, just get my body going, make sure my body at its best because, I have to listen to my body. Like if there's something going on, I gotta take care of it. If I'm not
Hmm.
feeling good, okay, let's keep it that way. Let's keep adding more things so I could be at my best to perform. But I'll say I listen to music, probably talk to a few guys about the game, everything else, but when it's time to step on that field, it's time to step on that field and let it loose.
Right, one last question for you. And it's also back to NFL and like preparation, film, watching film. What's your film watching setup? Are you I'm focused on the film or like I got my snacks here, I'm watching film? Like what is your space for watching film?
I mean, definitely one thing for sure, like being in a quiet area, quiet space.
Mhm.
Like when I'm by myself. Now, if I have snacks, I have snacks, but snacks is not really like a main priority. But it's
Mhm.
just like slowly watching the film, taking my time, writing notes from guys, and trying to pick up, different kind of clues or kind of tendencies that I could take advantage of, so that when I get to the game and I play, it's nothing new. It's not anything like a foreign language. It's like I could anticipate at the right time, knowing what's going to happen before it happens. And I feel like When you watch film, it leads to much more great and better preparation. And I just feel
Mhm.
like it just makes me more confident going to the game because let's say somebody else isn't watching any film or doesn't watch much film at all, like I have the edge on that guy.
I know I said one last question, but this one is really the last
It's
one.
fun
If you could watch film with anyone, who would you want to have a film session with?
with anybody.
Anybody.
Uh, like that's a great question right there. If I was the, it could be like former or current NFL player.
Yeah, anybody. It could be anybody.
Shoot, if I was to watch film with anybody, it's a lot of like great pass rushes like in a league and guys who was in the league.
Hmm.
I would say, dang, it's gonna be great guys, so
I know it's
it's kind
okay.
of
It's
like
okay.
hard.
You only have to name one. You could have a you could have a whole room of them, but who is the one guy that would have to be there no matter what?
Uh, oh my god, I'll go like with a I'll just go like with a Hall of Famer. Julius Peppers.
Julius
You know,
Peppers.
yeah, I go with him or shoot the all-time NFL sack leader Bruce Smith.
Okay. All right. So if you could have some quality time watching film with them, one of those two, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'd say like current NFL players though, I love to watch film like the guys that's been doing it for so long. Like outside of like my teammates and stuff, I would say you know like Max Crosby, Miles Garrett, uh, Vaughn Miller too. You could learn film from him, Vaughn Miller, and
yes.
then somebody that I've been watching. It's two guys that I've been watching like ever since I was in college. I'll say like Zadarius Smith and Charles Amino.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It's hard for me to pick one.
Yeah.
Because
Look, you got a whole room now. You got a whole room.
yeah,
You got
I
a
got a whole
plethora.
room for sure. Yeah,
And who
definitely.
knows? Maybe one of those guys will reach out and be like, "Let's watch some film," and then we made it happen.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Because I look at like, if it's somebody that been doing it for a long time and I'm young in my career, why not learn from that person, especially if they willing to pass down the knowledge? Like, why would you even try to like turn that down? If anything, it just helps you grow. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just like just being a sponge and just begin to become like more knowledgeable in the game.
Yes, I love it. I love it. But thank you for that. I think that was a fun question, and
Mhm.
um, and I think that you never know. I asked the question, but you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
So where can people find you and follow you and keep up with what you got going on this summer as well as the season?
Well, number one source that I'm highly, highly active on is Instagram.
Okay.
So our Instagram is at Jamree Kromah, JamreeKromah. I'm on Twitter, same at name, but the number one source that you can really find me on that I'm really heavily active on, Instagram.
Instagram. All right, we're gonna come follow you on Instagram. Do you happen to have an NBA team or who you rooting for?
I mean, I'm a LeBron
Okay.
fan. So
Okay.
like my favorite team not the Lakers, but I'm a LeBron fan and I'm always going for LeBron. And now sometimes I'll probably be like Shannon Sharp, Lakers at 5.
Lakers in 5. Well, we'll have to invite you to Sports and Coffee. We have this thing called the living room where we watch basketball live. So I'll have to, if you have, I'll send you link, and if you're free time one day, come and join us on playback. It's so fun. We'd love to have you on there. But yeah, sorry, the Lakers fans are done. We gave them hell.
I know,
I was
but
the Austin Reeves girl. I was like if it's not Reeves, I don't believe. And when he didn't contribute, right, that was my saying. When he didn't contribute in the playoffs, I was like, yeah, this is a wrap. He didn't
mhm.
contribute as highly as he was up into the playoffs. I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work out. But yeah, okay. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much for coming on to the Players Corner. We'll be checking in. We'll be checking in, seeing how you're doing as this year progresses. Definitely checking in on your mental because we want you to be mentally sound as well as physically sound as well. So, again, thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow him, and we will see you next time on the Players Corner.
True. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.